What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Persevere Performance Podcast. Today, I have an episode that I'm actually really excited about. I want to talk about 75 Hard, the Live Hard program, what it's done for me, what I want to talk to you guys about, from the beginning, when I started doing it 4 years ago to this last time that I just finished 75 Hard, starting phase 1 today. I just want to give you guys my experience with it so far, what I've gained from it, maybe some tips to anybody that is out there and is maybe looking at starting the program, and just give you guys my perspective on it and why I love it and why I will continue to do it for the rest of my life. So, first and foremost, obviously, like I just said, actually, before we jump into it, okay, I want to show you guys this dope ass hoodie, man. It's our new Persevere Rose hoodie. Huge shout out to Hannah for designing this, man. She killed it with it. But I wanted to show that to you guys because I'm really hyped on the new design we came out with. And yeah, that's all. Let's jump into the episode. Anyways, as you guys can tell, my mind is all over the place. I tried my best at making sure that I organized this episode so that I don't miss anything. I probably did miss some things that I wanted to talk about, but I just want to make sure that I really break down to you guys what this program has done for me up to this point. I tell this to people all the time, and I cannot say this enough. This program genuinely changed my life. And if it wasn't for this program, I wouldn't have this gym. We wouldn't have Persevere. And I can't say that enough. Yes, obviously there's other factors that played a role into all of this happening, but I do know for a fact that this is the program that made me discipline myself in going after everything I needed to do to be able to get here, and it will be the program that will continue to help me build the discipline that I need to build to continue moving forward. So let's jump into it. This last round that I did was my 4th round of 75 Hard. I've gone through the whole Live Hard program itself 3 times. I've failed phase 3 the past 2 times. I've not completed the program in its entirety yet, but I am determined that this year I'm going to finish it through and through. There's no option. Phase 3 is hard, man. I don't care who you are. That is definitely a phase that you have got to go into and be 110% dialed in. You cannot allow anything in your day to slip. And it's hard. It's supposed to be. That's called a Live Hard program. But I'm determined. This year will be the year that I'm completing it 100% through. And I've done it. Like I said, this last 75 Hard that I just finished was my 4th round doing it. The first time I ever did 75 Hard, I only did 75 Hard. I didn't go through all the phases, which was in 2019. And I also did it at the beginning of 2019. So I did it at the beginning and at the end. In the beginning of 2019, I don't count that one because I did 75 Hard, and I did it with If It Fits Your Macros. If you guys know me, that's my approach at nutrition with my clients, with everything I do. But that first round, I did it with If It Fits Your Macros, and I was still having ice cream. I was having desserts, treats, and just fitting it into my macros. But then after I did it, I heard the podcast again, and in there, Andy does mention, you cannot do that. This program, you cannot have treats, no desserts, none of that. So I don't count that one. So technically, it's really my 5th time. But really actually doing the program, it's my 4th time. This is one of the biggest things that, every single year, every time, round that I've done of 75 hard or the live hard program, I've always found a way to push myself a little harder. And it's crazy because, and I don't know if this is just me, and I don't know if any of you guys, or if somebody's listening to this that has done this, has felt this before. But every time I finish, even though I did everything in the program, I always finish and I think to myself, like, I could have did a little more, or I could have pushed a little harder. I could have added a weighted vest to all my walks, or I could have ran more often. I've always finished and I always felt this like you could have done more, right? So every single year I'm like, okay, like this is how I did it last year. How can I push that envelope a little harder? This last 75 hard, starting, when did I start it? Was it September? November? Yeah, I think it was September. Um, this last round, I ran 5 days a week, strength trained 5 days a week. And I only had Sundays, which was my walk days, and most of those days were a ruck. So I really, this last round, the fourth round was the one round I pushed myself the hardest. I was the sorest, but at the end of it, I felt the fucking greatest, man, because I know that left, I gave it everything I had. I left absolutely nothing in the tank when it came to that round. Did not compromise on any of my tasks, nothing, and I still pushed myself really fucking hard when it came to the physical aspect of it. So it was awesome. The first year I ever did the program, it was before they even developed the app. And you guys don't even understand. Like, you guys jumping into it now with the app, that is a lifesaver, man. Before, you used to have to remember to take your photo. You used to have to, there was no check off or no reminders, and I failed in that because of the photo like twice, which the photo is one of the most frustrating ways to fail, but I've done it. And yeah, dude, it's just been crazy, the evolution of it, how much more popular it's become, how many more people are actually changing their lives because of this program. It's insane. It's bananas. It's amazing. And I want to say, like, this coming from my side is a lot of people jumping into it now are doing it for the wrong reasons. And I'll tell you, the first year I did it, the first time I did it, I wasn't really doing it for the right reasons. Like, yes, I wanted to push myself. Yes, I wanted to grow. But I jumped into it to prove to people that it could be done regardless of how busy it was. So it wasn't even the right intent behind it. So I still pushed myself. I still did it. I think I failed once in that round. I went right back into it, jump in, and then once I failed that first time, it switched for me. Like, that's where I was like, dude, like, this is for you, man. Like, this is for what it's doing for you, what it's doing for you mentally, what it's doing to your discipline. And once I made that switch, dude, I really was able to dive deeper and gain all the benefits that you're supposed to gain out of this program. Um, I'm gonna say, it's not easy. It hasn't been easy, even up to this point, right? Even this last round, like, it's not supposed to be easy. It's called 75 hard for a reason. Um, but I can tell you guys, like, every single time I finished, every single time I cross that last 75th day, or when I finish a phase, there's nothing more rewarding than that, because that's something that you've done for you, not for anybody else, not for whatever, dude. Like, it's something that you did for you. Um, do I believe everybody should do this program? I don't think so. I think a lot of people go into it, like I said before, for the wrong reasons. A lot of times it's physical, right? A lot of people want physical results. But that's not enough. It's not enough to carry you through the entirety of the program, because it does get hard. It does get repetitive. It does get inconvenient at times. And if your only why, the only reason you're doing is because you just want to change your physique, dude, it is not going to carry you through that. I promise you, I've seen it time and time again. So, do I believe everybody should do this program? I don't think so. But I do believe that every person that does it, 100%, right, with absolutely no compromise, no deviation, will gain massive benefits from it. So, in I'm I'm proof of it. Like I said, this program has changed my life in every area of my life, in my personal and my financial, my health. I feel the best I've felt in my entire life. I'm pushing myself harder than I've ever pushed myself, but I feel the greatest I've ever felt in my entire life. I feel fueled. I feel more mobile. I feel more energized, more confident. Um, and it's pushed me and it's changed everything for me when it comes to business, because it's just showed me, man, what discipline can do. It's showed me what it takes to get to a certain outcome. It's literally just showing up every day and doing everything you're supposed to do that day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and that's how success is compounded over time. So it's just changed my life in all those areas. And some of the key benefits I've gained from this program, um, the number one, and I can't say this enough to people. This is the main reason why people should be jumping into this. Is my self confidence, man, and it, it's it's at its highest, man. And reason being, some people are gonna say, "Well, that's cocky," blah blah blah. Dude, every single one of us is capable of building self confidence. It's not something that is just given. It's not something that some people just have, right? Self confidence is literally being able to look at yourself in the mirror and say, "Dude, you gave today everything you had. You kept all the promises you had made to yourself that you said you were going to do. You did them every fucking day." And that's how self confidence is built. It's literally being able to trust yourself. I look at it as like a friendship. You guys have heard me say this before, right? If you had a friend who said he was going to show up places or do things for you, but they never showed up and they never did the things they weren't they said they were going to do, you wouldn't trust them, right? You wouldn't be confident in them. It goes the same for ourselves, and sometimes we try to brush these promises off like they're not affecting us, but they're affecting us a lot more than we think. So that's the main thing that it's definitely helped me with. Um, Not to mention time management. This program makes you manage your time to the T, especially as a business owner. Like, I have got my entire day planned out, and if I miss my workout, it throws off everything else, right? So now you're having to go do your workout outside late at night when you have to get back up at fucking 2:50 in the morning again the next day. It just completely messes you up. So it just makes you manage your time to the T so much better. And that's one of the biggest things that's helped me in business, because I feel like I can get so much more shit done in a day because I have built the discipline of managing my time way better. And going right into that, speaking of discipline, damn, my fucking vitamins are trying to come back up. Um, Discipline is a perishable skill. Just like you can gain it, you can also lose it. And it's literally just like a muscle, right? The more you work it, the more disciplined, the stronger it becomes. And this program, man, like, it makes you practice and work that discipline muscle every fucking day. Because if I'm being honest with you, just like anybody else, if anybody told you they felt like doing this shit every single day, they're lying to you. But on the days that I didn't feel like it, I still did it, and that right there builds that discipline muscle, right? Um, And as you're starting to build your discipline muscle, you're also starting to build mental fortitude, right? And grit, in the sense of like, yo, even though you don't want to do it, or even though it's gonna suck, or even though it's inconvenient, you still get in there and you get it done. Um, I've also gained a better understanding of the compounding effect of your actions every single day. And as I said, like once I started this program and I started seeing what action day in and day out was doing for me, in the sense of for myself, I started saying like, dude, like what if I want to open a gym, right? What if I just start compounding daily action towards that goal day in, day out? And here we are. You know, like we still got a long way to go. We're still a very small gym. We're still just in the beginning stages of everything we're going to do with this place, the impact that it's going to make. But uh, I understand the roadmap is literally just showing up day in and day out and doing the things necessary to move the dial in the direction that we want it to move in. And I can proudly say that, you know, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying that, you know, every day I just take action, but I can promise you that 80 to 90% of the time I am taking the actions necessary to move the dial forward. Uh, and that's one thing that this program has taught me. Um, it's also helped me massively when it comes to setting boundaries. That's one thing that I've always really struggled with. And this is, I'm a people pleaser, right? Like I like to see people happy. I like to see people pleased. And I've always made myself either too available or too too generous with my time or with my skills, my efforts. And this program really made me set those boundaries, because you can't just be available. You can't just be jump if somebody needs you to help them move today. Like you can't just jump into it. I'd love to help you, but I have to plan for that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just really helped me set boundaries a lot better, and it's made my boundaries a lot stronger. Still got a long way to go, right? Like but I'm definitely doing much better in the sense of like building that regimented, you know, boundary. Maybe even setting time aside for myself to not answer my phone, to not answer to, you know, text messages or DMs, whatever it is, right away. Like I said, I still got a long way to go, but it's definitely helped me improve a lot. Um, and those are just some of the main things that I've gained from this so far. And one of the biggest things that people I feel like are scared of jumping into this program is the fear of failure, the fear of failing the program, the fear of failing the face. And one of the biggest things that I want to say is you do not fail until you stop trying. And I know you've heard that before. That's kind of corny, right? But you don't fail this program until you stop trying, right? Yes, you can fail a face if you miss a task, right? But that doesn't mean failure. It means learning lesson, right? If you, for example, me, one of my biggest things, or one of the things that I've failed for before is falling asleep while reading. Now I know that I should never leave my reading to nighttime, right? So it just teaches you, and you just pick it right back up, and you don't make the same mistake again, right? The photo is one of the biggest things. I do it first thing in the morning. Sometimes I'd be like, oh, dude, I'll just do it. I'll do it later. I'll do it when I get to the gym. No, like just do it in the morning. And sometimes I've failed for that too. And what I'm trying to say here is, if you've been following me for a while, you know I've failed this program time and time again. I failed over the reading. I failed over waking up the next day and thinking to myself like, yo, how many water bottles did I have? Or how many of my hydros did I drink? Right? And not knowing, you're like, fuck, dude, well, I don't know. I can't confidently tell you it was a gallon. So you fail, right? Or forgetting to put something in my tracker because I went about my day and I got hungry and I grabbed something. I said I'll put it on my tracker later instead of just adjusting right there and there. And then the next day waking up and be like, fuck, did I put that in there? And knowing that I didn't, fail. So if you look through my app, man, there's so many times that I failed. And like I said, and I can't say this enough, like you don't fail this program until you stop trying. Now, yes, if you fail a face and you're like, oh, it's just not for me, then yeah, you failed, right? But if you fail a face and you're like, yo, like, no, I just won't make that mistake again. Let's start back over at day one. You don't fail. You don't fail. You still can jump right back in it and continue to build everything I just mentioned. So, goal is just get back up, dust yourself off, and get right back to work. So, I really want to close this out, and I hope I touch base on everything. Couple of things that I really want to, some tips that I want to touch on if you're thinking about doing the program. Okay. First and foremost, you have got to find a deep why. Like I mentioned in the beginning, if you're thinking about doing this program and you're just doing it for the weight loss aspect of it, don't do it. There's plenty of other things you can do to lose weight. That's not a deep enough why to carry you through what it's going to take to complete this program. Now, if you are doing it because you want to feel more confident, now, if you're doing it because your family needs you to become the man you need to become in the sense of your discipline, in the sense of your self-confidence, in the sense, that's a deeper why, right? I know my why is I know that this business, for it to grow where we want it to grow, where we want it to go, it is going to require a completely different man than who I am today to actually get there and achieve that and be able to sustain that. That's my why. And I know that when that happens and when this place grows, it is going to impact hundreds of thousands of people. And that why right there carries me through every single day I don't feel like doing something. Every day I don't feel like getting up and doing my outdoor. Every single day where I think of cutting my workout short. No, that's my why. My why is I know what my goals, my dream, my vision is going to require of me. And I still got a long way to go, man. Like, I'm just getting started. I'm just 4 years in. I still feel like I'm a puppy in this. I'm a puppy in business. I'm a puppy in coaching. I'm a puppy in self-development. But I'm excited. I'm excited to continue to grow because I know that when I do continue to grow and when I continue to become who I need to become, the impact that we'll be able to make will be fucking massive. So, yeah, find a deep why. Now, don't go into it and say, I'm going to try 75 hard. No, you're either going to do or you're not going to do. If you're already going into it thinking, I'm going to try, you already failed. You're either doing or you're not doing. Big one right there, right? This big difference. Set your mind to the fact that nothing else matters for the next 75 days. Actually, really, once you finish 75, it'll be the year, but start with 75 days. No partying, no anniversary, no vacation. I've done it through vacations. I've done it through sickness. I've done it through trips. I've gone to weddings on it. I've gone to festivals on it. The thing is, you can still enjoy life, but this still has to be your priority. Like, you have to feel, okay, I'm going to a festival, I can't have a drink. Like, it is what it is, right? Like, I still have to do my 2 workouts before I go. I still have to read I have to get all my stuff done before I can go and enjoy this festival. Or I have to wake up early during this vacation so it doesn't affect my time in this vacation. It is what it is. You're on the program. Set your mind that for the next 75 days, this is your top priority. Go into it with a no compromise mentality. No changing shit, right? A gallon's a gallon, half a gallon. 45 minutes is 45 minutes, not 30 minutes. And no cheats, man. Like, really hold yourself to not having the sweets, the stuff, the cravings, and no alcohol, right? No compromise. You miss any of those tasks, you don't complete them 100%, you fail. There's no compromise in it, and I promise you that is how you will gain everything you need to gain out of this program. If you do it any other way, you won't, I promise you. Stop calling it a challenge. It's not a challenge. It's a program. It's intended to be done year and year again. And it's meant to be continued because, as I mentioned in the beginning, discipline is a perishable skill. You're not just going to do the program one time and become the most disciplined person in the world. Like, no, like you have to do this program and you have to build on this program. So it's not a challenge. It's a program. And like I said, there's just not just 75 hard, there's phases to it. So in this program is meant to be done every year. Like I said, this is my 4th year going into it. And last but not least, the rule of thumb is if you have to ask yourself, should I eat this? Is this acceptable? It's a no. That's one of the biggest rules, like to make it simple, especially when it comes to the food, right? Should I eat it? No, no, probably not. So, yeah, man, that's my experience so far with 75 Hard, with the Live Hard program. I love it. I will continue to do it. And not only because of what it's doing for me, but also because of what it's doing to every person around me. It's helping other people improve, not just myself. So I hope I was able to touch base on anything and answer any questions that you guys may have. If you guys have any more questions, drop them down in the comments. Let me know. And if you're thinking about starting 75 Hard, man, I highly recommend go listen to the podcast. And yeah, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. So I hope you guys have an incredible Monday. Kick butt today, and I'll talk to y'all soon.